Right, so today I thought we'd take a little break from the suspenseful, gory TV shows and movies we've been talking about lately and switch it up with some good old-fashioned nostalgia with the amazing world of Gumball. Now this one is a gem from my childhood. I used to watch this early in the morning every day before school as I was dozing off back to sleep on the couch, and the amount of times I was late because of it is unbelievable. The best way to describe this show is to basically say never do any mind-altering drugs before you watch it, because it already makes you feel like you are. Let's jump right into this fever dream of a show with what I think is one of the craziest episodes in this show, and it's kind of a two-parter. The phone / the job. This episode will show you exactly what I mean. So the episode starts and we see Gumball throwing out stuff like his laptop, his alarm clock, and his camera. Why, you ask? Well, that's because he got himself a new and improved cell phone. So he's not going to need those measly things anymore. Oh, it's a brick. So it turns out he threw all of that stuff out for no reason, because according to Darwin, this phone was made BI.
Before internet.
Regardless of those setbacks, he still seems pretty happy with his purchase. Later at the bus stop, the man has literally sellotaped the thing to his head. Our boy is out here looking like a ghetto businessman. But then he gets an epiphany. The reason no one is calling them is because nobody has their phone number. Darwin then painfully rips the phone off of our boy's head and offers their number to their 8-bit classmate, Ojo. Gumball is against this idea because he thinks that he is too intense.
Is this intense? Is this intense?
I wonder where he got that notion from. The school bus then shows up and our boy is basically a slut because he offers his phone number to everyone on that thing. When they get to school, Gumball is literally foaming at the mouth waiting for people to call him, so much so that every noise he hears he believes is his phone ringing. One of those instances being the janitor drilling a hole in the wall. And Gumball, out of rage, tells him to keep it down because he's waiting for a call.
Okay. Gonna take like 3 weeks to drill this hole now.
I don't care!
Come on, man, there's no need to make his life any harder. And in another instance, he goes in and ruins a fellow student's xylophone time. You can't do that. All because he was butthurt that he got tricked into thinking his phone was ringing. The school bell then rings, making our boy think the phone's ringing again, and this is the final straw for him. He's bored with this purchase already, so he decides to give it to Darwin instead, and instantly the phone starts ringing. Darwin's then having a conversation with this mysterious person on the other end, and we get this scene.
Oh, nobody important. Oh, I don't think you're nuts, dude. Maybe for...
It's crazy how 12 years later, that specific scene in this one single episode has been stuck in my brain. It's like a core memory. But if I was on acid right now, I'd probably be in the corner crying my eyes out after seeing this. Later that day, the boys are playing some Space Invaders and they are locked in. It's apparently the final mission and they are trying to pull off a combo breaker, which for some reason requires 2 people to use one controller. I don't see how that works. The kicker of this is if they lose this final mission, they have to start from the very beginning. However, as they are performing the mystical combo breaker, Darwin's phone starts to ring and he really wants to answer it. Gumball pleads with this man to stay focused so they can, finish the mission, while he is doing everything in his power to keep that combo going as far as to even smashing his face into the controller to keep it going. But Darwin does not listen to our boy and he lets go of the controller to pick up the phone, and as soon as he does, they lose. Darwin could not give 7 shades of shit. He is in his own happy little place right now texting away, while Gumball's out here looking like Gollum after being run over by a cement truck. I just wanted to point this out because I thought it was really funny as I was writing up the bullet points for this video. For some fucking reason, every time I went to type Gumball's name, I kept putting Cumball, like Cumball. I don't know why that kept happening, but I thought it was hilarious every time it happened. So I just wanted to mention it. However, we cut to the next day and it seems Darwin's phone addiction has reached a whole new high as he comes crying to Gumball about the fact that his phone was taken away from him in class and begs him to go and get it back for him. But then Gumball says this.
I'm sorry, Darwin, but maybe it's for the best. I'm a coward. I'm not gonna break school rules.
At least he's honest with himself. After hearing this, Darwin drops to the floor and looks like a junkie from San Francisco who's fiending for a hit of Fent. After Gumball sees this pathetic display, he gives in and agrees to try get it back. He sneaks into his hippie teacher's office and luckily for him, he is mid-meditation, so he doesn't notice him come in at all. Now in this room, Everything that could possibly go wrong and more goes wrong. Gumball tries reaching over the desk to grab the phone and ends up knocking everything over in the process, causing a firework to be lit, and in a panic Gumball jumps onto the firework and it explodes in his ass. Whatever you're into, man. Because of the brave sacrifice of his rectal column, the teacher is none the wiser of his presence, but unluckily for our boy, his teacher's meditation game is weak and he ends up falling asleep, causing his head to fall and smack against the desk. This knocks a candle off of his desk, which rolls over to the curtains, catching them on fire, and in an instant everything in the room is on fire. Gumball then notices the phone on the floor surrounded by thumbtacks, so he masterfully tiptoes around them, picks up the phone and makes his way to the door. But Darwin, itching for his next hit, could not wait any longer and kicks open the door, smacking Gumball in the face with it, and takes the phone. Gumball then falls back ass first onto multiple pins, penetrating into his ass cheeks. He then puts out the fire as he leaves the room and sees Darwin happy as ever sitting texting away. The teacher then wakes up surrounded by foam and he is under the impression that he has meditated for so long that he has become one with the universe. You need to lay off of those funky cookies. Now I'm just going to speed run this part as much as I can because I want to get to the actual fever dream part of the episode, which is the job. Later that day, Gumball holds an intervention for Darwin about his phone addiction, pointing out that one of his fins is now down to his stump because of all the texting and the side of his head is burning up from the radiation. During the intervention, the phone then rings and Gumball not so nicely tells the person on the other end to stop calling. However, he soon regrets his decision when he finds out that the person he just screamed at is Ojo. He tries correcting his mistake by apologizing over a text, but autocorrect does our boy dirty, and the text he actually sends says,
"My mom gave me scurvy. I'm so ready for a fight. You're a dork."
I didn't think scurvy would be used in a kids show. Ojo shows up with the smoke and he is standing on business. A big Space Invaders like fight breaks out and Darwin tries to talk it out with his friend and he gets obliterated. Gumball cries over the loss of his brother, but he soon stops when he sees that he spawned back in right beside him. Turns out the boys have 3 lives, so this gives them a burst of confidence. They run out with bin lids, or trash can lids for you Americans, and uses it to deflect his shots back at him like a game of Pong. This actually works and they get a hit in on Ojo, but while they were celebrating, Ojo sends another shot down that ricochets off of Darwin's trash lid and kills Gumball. And upon respawning, they instantly start arguing over this and they both get obliterated again, meaning they're only down to their last life. After seeing this, their confidence dwindles swiftly and they run away and hide for a little bit. They then come to the conclusion to call the cops, but the one problem is, they do not have the cell phone anymore. Darwin sees the phone chilling on the ground in the middle of the battlefield and decides, I'm going to go and grab that. But before he can get to it, it gets hit with one of Ojo's beams, causing it to explode into little pieces. This sends Darwin into a rage and he grabs Gumball and they go back out onto the battlefield with one thing on their mind: the combo breaker. They grab one of Ojo's shots and they ricochet it between themselves until it picks up enough speed, and after a long build up they shoot this shot off and Ojo dodges it with ease. However, they ended up hitting a giant mothership that was overhead. Turns out this is Ojo's mother, who gives out to him about the fact that he's fighting again and says that he needs to come back for dinner. Ojo asks the boys if he got too intense again, and the boys respond with this.
Nah, totally normal level of intensity.
Brother, he almost killed the both of you. Permanently. Show a bit of backbone, boys. But regardless, Ojo gets into his mother, which that's a crazy sentence, and they go on home. And that is the end of the phone. Now, gentlemen, we go on to where the real wacky shit starts to begin. The job. It starts with Nicole waking up after passing out after being told that Richard got a job as a pizza delivery man. She tries to tell him that she is proud of him but struggles severely, and she walks back into the house, but she says that this doesn't feel right. At first it gets brushed off by everyone as her just feeling insecure about the power dynamic changing in the house now, but soon we find out that something is indeed very, very wrong. The boys stand there and see their father off as he goes to work, but after a rocky takeoff, they notice that he dropped some pizzas and decide to deliver it for him. The first house that they go to is a family of pizzas. Yes, pizzas. And this family do not see this as a food delivery, they see this as somebody delivering their brand new child. Keep that in mind. for what's about to happen. The boys show them the pizza and they look ecstatic about their new child. They go to hand Gumball the money for the pizza, and as Gumball goes to grab the money, the pizza falls face first onto the concrete and slowly slides down each step. The pizzas look shocked because in their eyes they just witnessed the massacre of their newborn, and the boys try to run away to get away from the situation. But while running away, Gumball gives them one last middle finger because he slips on the pizza, smearing it along the ground in a big skid mark before he gets away. Absolutely fucked, man. Those pizza parents look devastated. Now there's two more houses that they go to, and one of them is meant to be a vegan option pizza, and they realize they just massacred the vegan pizza, so they decide to make up their own with grass, dirt and a bit of chewing gum as a stand-in for mozzarella. And when they knock on the door, the hippie teacher walks out, and he claims that he has been on a diet of just sun rays, which craziness, and he just wants to eat something real. So he's very excited about this pizza. So he devours this earth pizza, but freezes midway through, only to say at least it was organic, before collapsing, dead. Well, not dead, he ends up blowing a bubble, so he is breathing. And the last family they go to is a family of bananas, who are so excited about their pizza that they decide to put on a performance. But while they're mid-performance, Richard drives by and it sends them into a continuous loop of this song. So the boys do not know what to do, so they just decide to leave the pizza with them and walk away. Back at home, Nicole is doing some cleaning when the tap decides that gravity is a choice and starts flowing upwards, so she turns it off in a panic. Anais then walks in and Nicole tries to explain what just happened and show it to her, but when she turns it back on, it works completely normally, so she doesn't believe her. The boys then get home as Nicole comes to the conclusion that maybe it's all just in her head and that everything is okay. She turns on the TV to distract herself a little bit, and instantly they find out that no, everything is not okay, because the news is reporting that weird shit is happening all over the town. One part of the town is continuously in nighttime even though it's meant to be noon. Another part of the town is covered in snow even though it's meant to be June. And there's an old man who's just levitating off of the ground. The gang decides that this is enough evidence to prove that something is very wrong, so they go to Richard's boss Larry to try convince him to fire Richard. But then Larry says that disturbing the fabric of space-time is not grounds enough to fire him. Huh? So they hatch a plan to make Richard late to his next delivery so Larry can fire him. But then we see Richard for the first time and he is having a dandy old time, letting some rhymes fly as he drives around.
Fire or spicy, my flavors will exhilarate to get him double quickly when I'm twisting the accelerator. Twisting the accelerator!
Damn, Richard. I didn't know you had flow like that, my bad. Unfortunately for the rest of the world though, every time he revs his engine, it causes shit to get increasingly more wacky. The gang start gaining on him. They know this because everything around them is ignoring the laws of physics. So they speed up to catch up with him, and this, ladies and gents, is when the acid truly kicks in. As they get close to him, Richard revs his engine, which causes them all to switch bodies, and every time he does this again, something different changes, consisting of full character design changes. Their positions in the car get swapped, so Gumball is in the driver's seat, causing them to nearly crash. They get teleported outside of the car, but somehow they are still driving the car. They turn into clay versions of themselves, and Nicole even gets turned into a real cat. Absolutely insane. Oh yeah, and they keep getting teleported a few minutes back in time, over and over and over again, until finally they decide to take a shortcut. As I said, this is an insane fucking episode, and it's not even over yet. They catch up to Richard at a house that is illuminated by the heavens, but the first step Richard takes turns the clouds to stone, causing them to fall and crush their car. They try to rush him, but he takes another step, causing whatever the fuck's going on screen to happen. And on the final step, Nicole turns to liquid. And so much more that I couldn't even put into words. Just look at the screen. Just look, like, excuse me? But sadly their mission is a failure and Richard has made it on time. However, something seems wrong with the pizza and the customer does not seem happy. Turns out Richard was cutting slices from the middles of pizza out so he could eat them, and then he squished the other two parts of the pizza together and then cleaned it up to make it look normal. Larry sees this and is outraged, causing him to say,
I fire thee.
After he gets fired, the world is returned to its natural order and he apologizes to his family about losing his job. They all share a group hug and Richard says,
But don't worry, I'll get another one.
And the episode ends. So thoughts? It's fucking insane, isn't it? To anyone who hasn't seen The Amazing World of Gumball, this is but the tip of the iceberg of the crazy shit that happens in this show. So if you guys enjoy this video and you want to see more, I will happily make more videos on Gumball, or just even like shows like Chowder and whatever it may be. Any old Cartoon Network show, I am always open to make videos on. Be it Cartoon Network, fucking Nickelodeon, whatever. I grew up with them all, man. I wasn't a Disney kid or a Cartoon Network kid or a Nickelodeon kid. I was a fucking hybrid, bro. Even Boomerang, man. I was watching them all. But I used to stay up all night on a school night just watching these cartoons. To say that I was just in love with these shows back in these times is an understatement. If you like my face and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and click on the channel down below. Whole variety of content on there for your eyes. Soothes the soul, if you will. Please make sure to leave a like, because that actually matters on YouTube now. It actually pushes the videos out. So if you did enjoy and you've made it this far, make sure to leave a like and help me out. We're on the road to 2K as well, by the way, which is fucking insane. Make sure to go check out my most recent video on 28 years later. That took me a long time to make, so please watch it. And yeah, if you want to stay in contact with me on anything other than YouTube, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter in the description below. And yeah, with that, I think that's everything. So yeah, folks, with that said, it's been EXO, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, folks.